From retro to next gen, we've got it all. I'm George, a Gen X grown-up, and this is Bit by Bit. Here's a bit of interesting retro gaming news from GamesRadar.com. 28 years later, after GoldenEye was released on the N64, two guys have gotten an actual tie in the game. Now, a tie is very easy in a timed game, but this one was a points game, and that's what makes it unique. They were both at 9-9, and then they both shot at the same time, hit at the exact same frame, and thus registered a win for both players. So while it's very easy to get a tie in the in the time limit match, obviously in the point limit match, it's almost impossible. We've never seen it before, 28 years. The article goes on to say it's probably happened somewhere, but this is the first time we have video proof of it. These guys posted over on Twitter, so you can go take a look, or X, whatever it's called. I don't even care anymore about that, but they've posted it there, so you can go take a look. This article is very short. It's maybe a 30-second read, but it's a neat little piece of gaming history to see this GoldenEye tie. Here's a sad bit of retro gaming news. TechRaptor is reporting that the company Analogue, who announced the Analogue 3D, the reimagining of the Nintendo 64 console in an FPGA format, has been delayed yet again. And now they're saying that it's going to possibly be shipped in July of 2025. Boy, this is really giving me Amico and television vibes at this point. I certainly hope not, because I know there's two Nintendo 64 FPGA consoles on the horizon for us this year, as we talked about in the last episode of Bit by Bit. They don't really say why. They're just working hard to get your 3D order in hands ASAP. Boy, that scares me a lot. I don't know if it's delays. We've got this whole tariff situation here in the U.S. I don't know what the reason is, but I'm really hoping that they get this thing out at least by their new date of July of 2025. If not, ladies and gentlemen, I fear a lot of people may have just lost out on a really interesting console. All right, here's an unusual retro gaming related-ish bit that I specifically put in here for John here at GenXGrownUp.com. Nike's releasing the Donkey Kong Air Max. They're going to do this March 26th. And this shoe's going to retail for $160. Now, I know, John, that might be a little bit expensive for you right now, considering your only income is coming from GenXGrownUp.com. So those of you watching this bit by bit, head over to patreon.com/GenXGrownUp or GenXGrownUp.com/Patreon and join us so we can help John buy some of these Donkey Kong Air Maxes if he wants them. They're really cool, though. You can see the red, the gold, the brown represented. Even here in the close-up of the eyelid, it's like modeled after Donkey Kong's tie that he wears in a lot of the modern Nintendo Donkey Kong games. The bottom of it is kind of like the banana peels, so to speak. They've got coins in it. I think there was even some stuff. Yeah, like there's some coins on the insoles there at the heel. Very cool stuff. You can only get this, though, through the Nike Sneakers app on March 26th. And knowing how people are super into Nike specialty shoes, it'll probably go very fast. Like I said, $160, March 26th. The Nike Air Max 1 Low Poly Big Head Origins Donkey Kong shoe, whatever the hell they're calling it. It's going to be cool. I might just have to get a pair for myself. This thing looks really neat. Here's a little bit of a sad bit from VideoGamesChronicles.com. The company Retro Games, who makes platforms like the Atari 500 Mini, the C64 Mini, and several others, they're trying to release a full-sized Amiga 1200 with a workable keyboard. However, unfortunately, it's being delayed because of legal disputes. So here we go. In the complicated world of retro video game and hardware, lots of different companies over the last 20, 30, 40 years have bought and sold the rights to all these different properties, and that's kind of what we're running into here. So this is a company, they did the Atari 400, the C64, the Amiga 500, whole bunch of cool stuff. The 500 Mini back in April 2022. I have one of those. It's a really nice system. And they were looking forward to releasing this A1200 full-size model. But there's a company called Hyperion Entertainment who has been suing everybody since 2018, 2019 that tries to come out with anything Amiga. I think they own like Amiga OS 4 or something like that. And they're just on the warpath. They don't want anybody to release anything with, I guess, not giving them their 5 pounds of flesh or whatever. Anyway, very sad. I was really looking forward to this product. I hope that they work it out, because this is something I would absolutely be a buyer on. If you're an Amiga fan, I think you would be as well. The Amiga 1200 by Retro Games is unfortunately delayed. Here's a bit from shacknews.com that has made my day. Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch Beat 'em Up is going to be released this year on Steam for PC. This was recently previewed in an alpha demo at Day of the Devs during the GDC 2025 conference. Man, I'm telling you, I'm loving everything I'm seeing. Apparently, this was a crowdfunding situation on something called Fig, which I've never heard of. I'm going to have to go check it out now, because if they've got cool things like Jay and Silent Bob Beat 'em Up games, I definitely want to start backing some of these games. You can see here in this image, it's a cool hand-drawn kind of art style, which is reminiscent of the Jay and Silent Bob or Clerks cartoon that was out like in the early 2000s, I think it was, that I loved. Only had one season of that, but this is all from the View Askew universe, and I love me some Kevin Smith, some Jay, some Silent Bob. I can't wait to give this a play. Apparently it's got some feels of Marvel vs. Capcom in there. There's power-up abilities. They give a little bit of that preview in this trailer, which I watched, which is awesome. Again, this is coming out later this year, 2025 on Steam. I cannot wait. I'm going to put this on my wish list. And if you're a fan of Kevin Smith, Jay and Silent Bob, or classic beat-em-ups, I think you should too. And here's the Atari bit that everybody has been talking about this week. Atari has announced the Atari 2600 PlayWatch is ready for pre-order right now. We've got this awesome video over here, courtesy of GenXGrownUp.com. Yes, shameless plug. I decided we might as well use our article as opposed to the 100 other articles that are out there on the web on these new products. John does a cool little video here where he's reacting and talking about the release trailer and giving his thoughts and opinions on what these watches might turn out to be when they come available. Like I said, they're on pre-order right now for $80. We've got a link down here in the article that will take you straight to their page so you can buy one for yourself if you'd like. They come with like 3 or 4 different watch bands. They come with 4 games as well: Centipede, Missile Command, Pong, and Super Breakout. One of the cool features that I like is that the crown of the watch is going to actually act as the paddle for Pong and Super Breakout. I think that's really cool. Now, Centipede and Missile Command, which were trackball games back in the day, they're going to have on-screen controls, which will shrink your play field quite a bit because the on-screen control has to be big enough at least for your finger or thumb. But still, an awesome idea. These watches don't have anything like Bluetooth connectivity or Wi-Fi or anything like that, so what you buy is what you're always going to have. There's going to be no updates or no changes, no additional games or anything like that, but it's still a very, very cool, nostalgic way to put Atari on your wrist. That's going to do it for the news making headlines in the gaming world right now. I am George, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and I'll keep on bringing you the news bit by bit.